start streaming. This is complicated, but we'll get the hang of it. If I'm doing it every day, you know what I mean? It'll become straightforward. One would hope. One would hope. Right, am I streaming now? Content live. Oh, we are. So it's probably a different link to the one I just posted into the Discord. So I'm going to post it again. Is it a different link? What's the number? Right, so I'm going to delete that again. Delete. Right, I think it's live. How do you see you on YouTube? Is my speakers are off. Yeah, right, okay. It is live. I can see it. Hello, cams. Moderation in the chat. Hello, putting in a wee chat there. Does it show up on OBS? Yes, it does. Everything's good. Don't know if the audio is working though. Let's try the headphones. Yes, it is. It's just not very loud, is it? So, how do I make it louder? Louder. Does OBS have levels are right up? So, is it a LPR? Is it louder now? Yeah, I've turned up the preamp to max. So, what's this all about? It's a good question. I want to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. I just never seem to get to it, so this is an attempt to get to it. So, I'm reading this right now, Bird on Bird by Anne Lamott. And, right, let me turn off the live stream audio because it's... I can take the headphones off, can't I? Right. So I've never read this. I've had it a couple of years. It was recommended to me, I think it was by Elise Doucette, who's a writer that I met on Ali Abdal's Part-Time YouTuber Academy, I think. And this is a book about writing. And I read the introduction last night and the Getting Started section, and I thought this is really good. So I'm going to go through it. It's got short assignments, starting chapter 1, perfectionism, Polaroids. So I'm going to read this. This will be part of what I do during this hour. I've also downloaded Scrivener, which I've heard of quite a lot, never used it. And it's been recommended to me again by some friends of mine in Andrew Watson's Discord. So I'm going to be learning how to use that as well, and it comes with a built-in tutorial. So I think on the live stream there's going to be a lot of me just sitting reading or going through tutorials, or hopefully tip-tapping away on my keyboard as I follow assignments and start writing for an hour every day. And that's the plan. 12 noon, weekdays, at least 4 days a week, because I travel one day, sometimes 2. So 12 noon, 1 hour, do my research and my writing for an hour, and you can join me as an accountability thing for a writing sprint or whatever. and we'll see how it goes. So that's the plan. I think I've got the tech angle down. Let's try this. Stream seems to be working all right. So yeah, that's really it. So now it's 12:09. I'm going to read a bit of this. I'm going to open up Scrivener and I'm going to start writing and see how it goes. I'll come back and share at the end what I did and how it went and all that stuff. And I might shut the curtains. No, because I'm going to read, so I want the daylight. I can see I'm a wee bit overexposed in the camera, but that's okay. I can work on that. Right, time to read for a bit. And open Scrivener. I could change the aperture. That should sort out the exposure issue. And I should mute as well. Can you mute in OBS? Okay, 2 short chapters of Bird by Bird. It's very good. I can see the chat's been busy, so let me just have a look and say hi to everybody. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you all. Ari Whipple loves a good writing stream. Great. This is my first one. So far I'm loving it. Scav up. Asking Gary if he's used Scrivener. Don't know if Gary has. I haven't. I've just downloaded it and I opened it up last night and I got the tutorial come up, so I'm going to go through that shortly once I've gone through the chat here. As I said at the beginning, if you missed it, it was recommended to me by some friends of mine over on a Discord server that I enjoy visiting a lot, where I get some support. Scrivener has colour coding for tracking characters or topics. Yeah, I watched a short video last night after I downloaded it with a kind of run through the basics. So yeah, I'm reasonably familiar with the basics. Maya, nice to see you from Argentina. Amazing. And Scavop wrote books in Word, clunky for formatting. Yeah, I was a word power user for many years. I used to be a translator, and my translation software was a plugin, basically. I used to use Jings, what was it called? I can't even remember what it was called now. It was translation software that worked as a set of macros. I gave that job up in 2008, so I've moved on, and now I've got Word, but when I open it now, it doesn't look anything like I remember it. Because, well, it doesn't, does it? I was Word 98. I think I used Word 2000 and then gave up on Word after that. So, a couple of highlights here from the book. First of all, it's really well, easy to read. It's very chatty and some humour in it. And what did I underline? A couple of things. Yeah, E.L. Doctorow once said that writing a novel is like driving a car at night. You can see only as far as the headlights, but you can make the whole trip that way. You don't have to see where you're going, you don't have to see your destination or everything you will pass along the way. You just have to see 2 or 3 feet ahead of you. This is right up there with the best advice about writing or life I have ever heard. So yeah, that makes sense. And then she goes on to discuss, is it her brother? Yeah, her older brother, when he was 10, was panicking about a report that he had to write about birds that he'd had for 3 months and left until the night before. And he was panicking with overwhelmedness. And his dad said, bird by bird, buddy. Just take it bird by bird. So bite-sized chunks. Yeah, that makes sense. And if you saw me taking a photo of the page, I use an app called Readwise, which OCRs text and then puts it into my Notion database. And I have a big book database in Notion. And all the highlights that you make in Kindle go into it automatically. But if you're reading a physical book, take a picture, OCR it, and then it automatically goes in to the Notion page for the particular book that you're reading. It's brilliant. Now she's talking about writing a food review for a California magazine, and she said that every Monday she'd sit at her desk with notes and try to write the review. Even after I'd been doing this for years, panic would set in. So I know from performing music, which I've done a lot, that panic sets in whenever I get booked to play. And I've learned how to deal with it over time. So I suppose the same happens with writing. That's what this live stream is about as well, is to set up a specific time of day each day. And although I'm not writing yet, I want to make sure I prepare for it. And Scav up saying, if you're writing a novel, sustains, also plan where you work out plot, characters, themes, etc. to start with. Yeah, I'm not even there yet. I don't even know what my novel's going to be. I mean, I've got some ideas, but I think, as was discussed in the first chapter of this, she recommends just sitting down and writing short paragraphs about events in your life, about school you went to, and what jobs you've had, and just descriptive writing, I suppose, just to get, I don't know, to break through the resistance, just to get words down on paper. So the second chapter I just read is called Shitty First Drafts, which I'm sure any writers out there will have heard of. And I've put down here, it's the same idea as putting your trainers on. So this is an analogy I heard once that helped me a lot about going for a run, which I don't do, but I love the analogy and I can relate to it. The difficult part is getting out the door, and in order to get out the door you have to put your shoes on. So all you have to commit to is putting on your shoes. And I know this from guitar practice, where I used to commit to 10 minutes or just play a scale or something like that, and then I can tick the box to say I practiced that day. Because what tends to happen is once the guitar's in your hands, you end up playing for longer and longer, and then you have fun with it. But it's that resistance part. So that's what I've got from here. And she goes on to discuss the voices in your head, when you sit down to do your work and all the procrastination things take over that seem urgent all of a sudden, so that you can avoid writing. I can relate to that. I'm sure you all can. So quieting these voices is at least half the battle I fight daily. But this is better than it used to be. It used to be 87%. So she goes on then to talk about imagining all the voices in your head, that you can put them in jars and put the lid on and then turn the volume down so they've gone, and then you crack on with your thing. This is why I think live streams are such a good way of getting the work done, especially if it's a same place, same time kind of commitment, which is what this is going to be. So I've done a bit of reading. I'm going to open up Scrivener now and have a wee look at the tutorial so that I can get the hang of it. And yeah, I guess I won't get much writing done if I'm going through tutorials, but that's what I'm going to do now. So I'll be back, 15 minutes, something like that. See you in a bit. Okay, that's some Scrivener tutorial sorted. I've got as far as learning how to work the inspector. Doesn't look terribly complicated, and it did say that after reading about the binder and the text editor, you can actually then jump into writing straight away. So I'm actually ready to write. I might do a bit later, I don't know, see how my day pans out, but I do have an article to write for my Crime and Punishment read along, and I also want to go through my notes and start writing up my Plato review or essay or whatever it's going to be, because I'm doing a read along over on my Substack for that, where we read The Republic and The Last Days of Socrates in August, and I enjoyed those books a lot. I'm quite curious to see what comes out when I go through my notes and start writing it up. So yeah, I'll be doing some writing today. Maybe I'll use Scrivener just to see. Yeah, I think I will. That might be fun. I've got a lot of photos that I took pictures with post-it notes because I was reading those books as physical copies, and sometimes I was away from desk, so I take post-it notes with me when I go travelling on the ferry or the train, and I write my notes out on the post-its and stick them in the pages, and then take photos so that they then go into my Lightroom, and then I can see exactly what notes I took for each book. It's a system, it works. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining my inaugural writing live stream. I won't be here tomorrow because I will be travelling, so the next one will be Monday at 12 noon British summer time, which will be 11 AM UTC, and I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to being here myself because I feel like this is going to work. Yeah, I'm excited for this. So, cheers everybody. Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you on Monday. Bye.